Hi, I'm Harriet Nelson. Isn't this nice? We've got our pictures on the cover of the March issue Red Book magazine. It's on your newsstands real soon. Oh, and there's a nicer story inside. It's called The Girl That I Married, and it's by my favorite author.
Oh, Harriet, you shouldn't have said that.
You told me to.
Point, point, to Hot Point, and the life of thee. For Hot Point makes the toughest job around the house a breeze.
Yes, Hot Point means the best for you. Appliances and cabinets, too.
Electric kitchens through and through that work automatically for you. So point, point, to Hot Point for your laundry. Move Hot Point in and it moves out all wash day drudgery. So point, point, to Hot Point, as the Nelsons do. You toss your cares up in the air when Hot Point works for you. Let Hot Point work for you.
And now, Hot Point presents America's favorite family comedy, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family. Here is Ozzie, who plays the part of Ozzie Nelson. And, of course, his lovely wife, Harriet, as Harriet Nelson. The older of the Nelson boys, David, appears as David Nelson. And his younger brother, the irrepressible Ricky, played by Ricky Nelson. The Nelsons' next-door neighbor, Thorny, is played by Don DeFore.
I think the worst part of giving a dinner party is making out the guest list. Should I invite the Dunkles? How about the Cunninghams? How about King Farouk? Who'll I put him next to?
Well, why don't you put him... King Farouk? Who invited him?
Nobody, but if you're not going to pay attention, somebody might slip him in.
I heard every word, honest.
Well, I wish you'd make a few suggestions.
Oh, well, Harriet, you always plan such beautiful parties without any help from me.
It's either a very nice compliment or you're just plain lazy.
No, really, you do.
Well, it's just a matter of careful planning. Here's the seating arrangement for dinner. You're at the head of the table, and then Clara Randolph, and then Herb Dunkel, then Betty Cunningham. Are you listening? Then I'll put King Farouk next to her.
Now, Harriet, I am listening.
Well, I wish you would. I just don't know where to seat Susie and Tom Fowler.
Put Tom between Betty Cunningham and King Farouk. Clara Randolph. And Susie between Herb Dunkel and Jack Caswell.
Oh, I couldn't possibly do that.
Why not?
Well, don't you know before Tom and Susie were married, Tom and Betty were going together? But Clara broke up with Jack and started going out with Herb, who was crazy about Susie until he married Barbara. So when Clara and Joe got engaged, Betty Cunningham eloped with Bill. So how can you put Tommy and Susie between them? And he doesn't play tennis anyway.
Well, who doesn't play tennis?
Charlie Stewart. And if he sits next to Betty Cunningham, I'll have to rearrange the whole table.
Have you ever considered serving a buffet?
No, I can't do that. The last time I did that, the men sat at one end of the room and the women sat at the other.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, I wanted to know what all the men were laughing about. This really is a problem.
What's the problem, Mom?
Oh, hello, boys.
Hi.
Planning a party.
Mother's having a little trouble figuring out who to invite.
Well, that's easy. Why don't you invite me?
Now, this is a grown-up party, Rick.
Well, I'm grown up. Look at how short my pajamas are getting.
What's so hard about giving a party? When I want to give one, I just call up and say, come on over the house. The folks are going out to a show.
Sure, Mom. Why don't you just call up your friends and say the boys are going to a show? And you give us some money and we'll go.
It's not that simple.
I know. You won't give us some money.
I mean planning the party. In order for it to be a success, you have to choose your guests very carefully. Make sure that they have common interests. Their personalities don't clash.
Yeah, we don't want any brawls around here, boy.
Not only that, you got to watch the seating arrangements, too.
Yeah, it sounds pretty complicated.
Yeah, I never realized there was so much to it. Whenever I go to a party, I just hang around till I get a stomachache and then go home.
Oh, yes, it is a little complicated, but with a little extra effort, you find that the planning really pays off.
Yeah, the next time I give a party, maybe I'll try it your way, Mom.
Maybe if you make a little extra effort, you can have 3 girls for every boy.
What would I want to do that for?
Boy, you know nothing about parties.
Look, don't you think it's about time you guys went up to bed?
Well, okay, Pa. We want to get something to eat first.
Well, don't take too long.
You know, Harriet, maybe David's got something there at that. Instead of going all this fuss and trouble, why don't you just call up a few people on the phone tomorrow and casually invite them over?
Oh, I don't mind. I think I better give this guest list a little more thought, though, before I call anybody and make it official.
Well, suit yourself. I'll give it a little more thought, too, if you want me to.
Well, thanks, dear. I'd sure appreciate it if you'd figure out what I can do with King Farouk.
I'll work on that.
Hi, Oz.
Hi, Thorny.
Say, what's this I hear about you folks giving a party?
Oh, how'd you hear about that?
Well, David stopped by a little while ago for Will and mentioned something about it.
Oh.
What time should Captain and I be there?
Well, now, wait a minute, Thorny. Don't you think it'd be a nice idea to wait till you're invited?
No, I miss out on too many parties that way. What night's it going to be, Oz?
Well,
Well, now, wait, you're going to invite me, aren't you?
Well, I
Oh, so that's the way it is, huh? It's all right for me to be your neighbor and smell your cabbage cooking, but when you give a party, you leave me out.
It's nothing like that. It's just that we haven't definitely decided yet whether we're going to give a party.
Oh, I see. Harry's made up her mind, but you won't give her the money, huh?
No. As I say, we just haven't definitely decided. That's all.
Well, Oz, I sure hope you do give it, and I hope you invite Catherine and me. Frankly, I'm getting pretty fed up sitting home every Saturday night with nothing to do but watch television or Catherine scrubbing the kitchen floor. Oz, we haven't been out for months.
Well, gee, that's funny, Thorny. You used to be invited to parties all the time.
Well, I think since Eisenhower was elected, there isn't much demand for my impersonation of Truman playing the piano.
That's ridiculous. I mean, you're a fairly nice fellow. You're a lively guy at a party.
Well, then why don't you invite me to your party? Oz, you're not sore about what happened at the last one.
No.
Well, it wasn't what I did at Harriet's birthday party, was it?
Oh, no.
The egg wasn't supposed to break in her handbag.
I know, Thorny. You explained that.
Wasn't what I did at the dinner party you gave for the president of the bank, was it? Anybody could knock a pile of dishes off the table.
I know. We realized that was an accident.
I don't know how my necktie got in the soup tureen. I apologize for that. After all, you gave me the tie, and I thought it was a good one. I didn't expect the color to run.
Believe me, Thorny, all these things are forgotten and forgiven.
Oz, look, if you'll only invite me, I promise I'll be careful. No funny stories, no parlor tricks, and if the party gets dull, I'll just let it lay there. Please, Oz, I haven't seen any real live people for so long. Just Catherine.
I tell you what I'll do, Thorny. You and Catherine are definitely invited if we give a party. So just hold Saturday night open.
Oh, wonderful, Oz. Wonderful. Say, could you make it Sunday night instead? Saturday's such a good television night.
Harriet, you home? Oh, hi, Carolyn. Come on in.
Hi, honey. Am I interrupting?
Not at all. I was just making out the week's menus. Say, what are you doing out of bed? I thought you were in the hospital.
Well, you know how it is today with an appendix.
Sit down.
You are in and out of there so fast you don't even know if they took it out. Honest, if I didn't have a scar, I'd never know. It's a beautiful one. That little old Dr. Thomas is just wonderful. Well, anyway, when I was lying there in the hospital, I said to myself, Carolyn, when you get out of here, you're going to celebrate.
You mean sort of a coming out party?
That's a general idea. Well, honey, what I want to know is, can I borrow your dishes and your silverware for Saturday? I'm having the party Saturday night.
Oh, well, Carolyn, I'm planning a party for Saturday.
Oh, but honey, you're coming to mine, aren't you?
Well, I'd love to, but I've already got my guest list made out.
Oh, well, honey, why knock yourself out? Come on over to our place and enjoy yourself.
Well, as long as you got your party all set, I suppose I could postpone mine.
I wish you would, because I'd sure hate to see you miss ours.
Okay, I'll postpone ours then.
Good.
Now, what was it you wanted to borrow?
Well, we need some bread and butter plates and some dinner plates.
Got 'em right here.
Say, aren't these new dishes?
Yes, Arnie broke a whole stack of my old ones.
Oh, that reminds me. Honey, would you mind not saying anything about this to the Thornberrys? We'd love to invite them to the party, but we just don't happen to have room enough at the table.
Harriet, I've got just the guy to take King Farouk's place at your party, Thorny.
Thorny?
Yeah, he practically begged me to invite him.
You didn't?
Oh, now, Harry, you're not going to hold a little thing like a broken egg in your handbag against him, are you?
Oh, it isn't anything like that. It's just that we're not giving the party.
But you said you were going to give a party.
I know, but we received an invitation from Carolyn Calhoun.
Well, what about Thorny?
Oh, she wanted to invite them, too, but she didn't have the room. Oh, and she asked me not to say anything about it to him.
Well, no, I mean, what am I going to tell him? I invited him.
Well, you didn't make it definite, did you?
Well, no.
Well, and what's the problem?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I mean, after all, we're not giving the party.
Well, why don't you go over and tell him? You ought to do it right away.
Gee, he seems so happy about the whole thing.
Well, you'll have to let him know so he can make other plans. Call him up.
See, that's just it. I don't think they'll have any other plans. It seems for some reason or other nobody's been inviting him any place recently. He feels so neglected.
Oh, well, you'll have to tell him.
Harriet, now, he knows that you were the one who was planning the party. I think you'd better phone him.
Oh, he's your friend. You call him up.
Well, I know you do these things so much better than I do. I mean, after all, you've had so much more experience. I mean, you used to break when you were young. When you were younger, you see, you used to break dates all the time. I imagine when you were a girl. You know, younger, a young.
Instead of wasting your energy trying to straighten that mess out, just call Thorny up.
Hello?
Harriet wants to talk to you. Here's Thorny.
Hello, Thorny?
Harriet, I was just thinking about calling you.
Oh, is there something wrong? You won't be able to come?
No. I just wanted to thank you for the invitation. Well, I'm so excited I'm going out and buy a new tie for the occasion. A waterproof one. Don't kid me, Harriet. I really appreciate this. It's swell of you. Oh, by the way, what'd you want?
I don't know. I guess I got the wrong number.
Come, gentle spirits, let us peer into a lady's future. No, spirits, not the dreary future. Fie on you, spirits, the happy future, I insist. Ah, that's it. That's the happy future. Right, Mr. Smith?
Oh, you're so right. A part of any lady's happy future is this new wonder-working hot point dishwasher for 1954. Why, it's the hardest-working, handiest helper in your whole kitchen, ladies. So big, it'll take a full day's dishes for a family of 4 and do 'em easy as 1, 2, 3. You merely load it, roll in the racks, add your detergent, and turn the dial. Your dishes are off all by themselves for the most thoroughgoing cleaning of their lives. For only a hot point dishwasher, double washes, double rinses, and sparkle dries everything electrically, even pots and pans, in clean, sun-pure electric heat. It's a big job done perfectly, and yet it costs you only about 10 cents a day over the years, more than doing dishes the hard, tedious, handwork way. See this wonder-working 1954 Hot Point dishwasher in action at your Hot Point dealers. You won't need a crystal ball to find him either. He's listed in your classified telephone directory. And remember, Hot Point changes your viewpoint automatically.
Oz. Oz, old boy, you're just in time. I got a great little trick for your party.
Oh. Yeah, I want you to take a card.
Any card, Oz.
Oh, well.
No, don't let me see it. Put it right in the middle. All right, now shuffle them. Shuffle them real good. Just the cards, Oz, not your tie. All right. Now, what do you want to see me about?
Well, you asked me to pick a card.
Anything special on your mind?
Well, what about your card trick?
Oh, Oz, forget it.
What kind of a card trick do you call that?
Great little icebreaker, isn't it? You see, I pull down on a couple of your guests, and pretty soon someone who knows how takes the cards from me and starts doing card tricks. Before you know it, your party's a big success.
Thorny, I'm glad you brought up the subject of the party, because that's what I came over here to talk to you about.
Oh, swell. Come on, take a load off your feet.
Oh.
Want me to be there early? I'll help you take the jug out of the vault.
Thorny, I'm terribly sorry, old boy, but the party has been called off.
Wait a minute, I'll say that again.
I say we're not going to give the party after all.
Oh, just a second, Oz. This is a bit of a blow to me. Sorry, Oz, the smelling salts from the medicine cabinet.
For goodness sakes, will you stop hamming it up, Thorny?
Hamming it up? The bottom has fallen out of my little world, and you criticize my acting.
Wait a minute, Thorny. I told you the plans weren't definite.
Please, Oz, no excuses.
Well, you knew the invitation was only tentative.
Tentative? Don't make any other plans, you told me. Buy a new suit, you told me.
No, wait a minute. I never told you to buy a new suit.
No? You don't remember coming over here last year and saying, Thorny, buy yourself a new suit?
For goodness sakes, that was last year.
Well, I'm certainly glad I didn't buy it, just to wear it to your old party.
Well, Thorny, you're upset, and that's very understandable, and I'm sorry.
Sure, it's nothing to you. You go out all the time. You're popular. Dull, but popular.
I know you've got your heart set on this, but as I say, I'm sorry that the party's been postponed. There's nothing we can do about it.
Well, a fine Saturday night I'm going to have.
You'll find something to do.
No, I won't. My television set's broken, and Catherine's already scrubbed the kitchen floor.
Harriet, I just feel awful. He tried to kid around about it, but I knew how disappointed he was.
Oh, that's too bad.
He's just like a big kid. I think he'd rather come to one of our parties than eat. Well, maybe not that, but you know what I mean.
Well, gosh, I hate to hurt his feelings.
All right, why don't we call up Carol and tell her we can't go, huh? And have Thorny and Catherine over to our house here Saturday night.
I think you're right. I'll call her. What is it, 6-2 or 7-2?
6-2.
Hello, Carolyn? This is Harriet. Say, I hate to do this, but something very embarrassing has come up, and I wondered if it'd be okay with you if Ozzie and I didn't come to your party Saturday night. Oh, well, thanks a lot. I certainly appreciate your being so understanding. Well, thanks again. Goodbye, Carolyn. Well, I hate to miss the party, but I'd rather do that than hurt Thorny's feelings.
Oh, hi, Oz.
Well, I see you're feeling better.
Oh, sure.
Thorny, old pal, I came over to talk to you about Saturday night.
Oh, Oz, forget about it.
No, wait a minute. The plans have been rearranged a little, so you and Catherine are going to have dinner with Harriet and me at our house Saturday night.
We are?
Yes, sir. He'd be over about 7 o'clock, and we'll get the jug out of the vault.
I'm terribly sorry, but we can't come.
You're kidding.
No, Catherine and I made other plans.
Oh, gee.
Oh, say, by the way, I've worked up a new impersonation. Eisenhower playing golf with Margaret Truman.
You sure you can't make it Saturday night?
No, Oz, I'm terribly sorry. Oh, if you're planning on giving any other parties, you'd better let us know pretty far in advance. With this new Eisenhower bid, I expect to be pretty well booked up this season.
How about that Thornberry? Accepting another invitation.
Well, you ought to be happy that he's going somewhere.
Say, wait a minute. We could call up Carolyn again and tell her we're able to come now. Couldn't you?
Yes, I suppose you could.
Anyway, Harry, you made the date with her in the first place, and then you broke the date, so it's only logical that you should call her up and make it again.
Yes, dear, but if I called her up again, she'd think I was crazy.
It just doesn't seem right, Harriet. I mean, come on, you're so diplomatic about things like this. You do them so well.
Okay, if you want to be a coward, give me the phone. Hello, Carolyn? This is Harriet. Just a minute. Ozzie wants to talk to you.
Harriet. Hello, Carolyn. Yeah, how are you? Yeah? Uh-huh. 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 But... Uh-huh. I just asked how she was. I didn't want a detailed account of her operation. Uh-huh. Well, Carolyn, Carolyn, you can tell me all about it when Harriet and I come over for dinner Saturday night. Yeah, we changed our minds, if that's all right with you. Oh, I see. Oh, sure. Oh, well, that's very understandable. It was. Okay. Bye.
Struck out, huh?
They invited somebody else to fill in for us. Guess who?
Not your bosom pal and next-door neighbor.
Who else? Of all the ungrateful people.
Well, don't be upset about this.
Yeah, well, what'll we do Saturday night?
Well, I've got a lot of things I can do. I'll scrub the kitchen floor. Ozzie?
Yeah?
You get the front door, I'll get the phone.
Okay.
Hi, Oz. Just dropped in to pay back that $1 I owe you.
You don't owe me any dollar, and you know it.
Oh? Well, here, take it anyway, Oz. I want you to have it.
Trying to buy back my friendship?
For $1? Oh, Oz, all the money in the world wouldn't pay for the feeling I have for you.
Just how do you mean that?
Well, that's good, I mean it. Oz, old pal, little buddy, I want to tell you something. I'm a heel.
I must say I agree with you. We broke our date to go to Carolyn's party to invite you and Catherine over here to dinner, and what do? You wangle an invitation to take our place at the party and leave us with nothing to do for Saturday night.
Oz, that's exactly why I'm here. I got to thinking how nice you were to invite us, and, well, I just couldn't go to Carolyn's party. So I called her a little while ago, and I said, Carolyn, now I know how much you need my impersonation of Eisenhower and Margaret Truman to make your party a success, but, well, I just can't bear to leave my old pal and buddy Ozzie alone on Saturday night. You just got to count me out. His friendship means too much to me.
Thorny, I mean, you shouldn't have done a thing like that.
No, that's all right, Oz. She'll probably never speak to me again, but that's okay.
Well, at least you won't have to hear her tell about her operation.
Oh, that's why I love you. You have such a wonderful sense of humor.
Did I tell you about the cat that walked into the bar?
No, you'll kill me, though. Save it for Saturday night. By the way, what time do you want us to come over?
Oh, about 7 o'clock.
Oz will be here right on the dot.
Okay, boy.
So long, by the way, Oz, if you don't mind, I'll take my buck back.
Oh! Did Thorny go?
Yeah, he just went back home.
Are you two friends again?
Oh, sure. I mean, how can you possibly stay mad at a guy like that? You know what he just did, Harriet? He felt so sorry for us being alone on Saturday night that he called up Carolyn and told her he couldn't come to her party.
You mean he finagled an invitation to come here again?
Finagled? Oh, Harriet, after what he's done, how can you possibly use a word like that?
Because I know something you don't know.
Such as what?
That was Carolyn Calhoun on the telephone just now, and she said her doctor made her give up her party on Saturday. It's too soon after her operation to exert herself.
Thorny knew that when he came over here?
He sure did.
Well, how about that? And he finagled an imitation out of me.
How can you use a word like that?
Because now I know what you know. Oh, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call him up and I'm going to tell him never to come over here again.
Oh, now, just a second. When we first started planning our party, you wanted Thorny to come.
Well, I know.
And when Carolyn invited us, you felt so bad about it that we canceled it so you could have Thorny over.
Well, yes.
And now that Carolyn doesn't need our dishes, I'm going to go right ahead with our party the way we planned.
All right, Harriet, but I absolutely will not invite Thorny. He's not going to get away with this. I'll get even with him if it's the last thing I do.
But you've already invited Thorny. After all, he is a lot of fun at a party.
Fun? Do you call those corny Now, wait a second. Let's invite him. I know how to get even with him. I'll take the wind out of his sails.
How?
Harriet, if I can give an impersonation of President Eisenhower playing golf, you think you could be Margaret Truman?
Now, there's a sight for you. Mess, isn't it? But he'd have nothing to kick or kick about if he had a new 1954 hot point disposal. Yes, a hot point disposal such as Ozzie and Harriet have here in their hot point sink. With a disposal, all your food waste, including even bones, wash right out of your life. And you know, a hot point disposal is not a luxury. You can have one installed in your present sink. Or, like Ozzie and Harriet, you can have it with this beautiful Hot Point Deluxe Combination Dishwasher Sink. And all it costs you to run is just pennies a month. A mighty small price to pay to get rid of this forever.
It sure was a swell party tonight.
Thank you, dear. Everybody seemed to have a real good time.
Did you see the look on Thorny's face when I swiped this impersonation?
Well, you did it very well.
After that, he didn't know what to do to attract attention. I wouldn't let him do any card tricks or tell any stories or break any eggs in any handbags. Oh, say, by the way, Harriet, did you know there's a big stain on the dining room rug? How did that get there?
Oh, that's where Thorny dropped the punch bowl.
Next week, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family, Ozzie, Harriet, David, and Ricky, will be brought to you by Antizyme, the new toothpaste that gives you all-day immunity to tooth decay acids.
Well, good night, folks. We'll see you again next week.
Good night. And remember, always look to Hot Point for the finest first.
Yes, sir. That's what I always say, boy.
What do you always say, little man?
Always look to Hot Point for the finest first.
The part of Carolyn Calhoun was played by Georgia Curtright. This is Vern Smith speaking. Don't forget that a completely different episode of The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet is heard every Friday night on radio. Consult your newspaper for time and radio station.